IRS tax bracket changes for 2026 are now in effect to help lower those taxes and boost paychecks. It's always a good thing, right? Economist Steve Moore joins us now. And Steve, will these tax breaks help Trump win the so-called affordability issue?
Well, a Happy New Year to you, Ashley. And the answer to that is an absolute, all in capital letters, yes. So we estimate that the average family will receive, well, the total amount of the stimulus from the tax cuts that were passed last year, the big, beautiful bill. Ready for this, Ashley? $191 billion put into the economy. Ooh. And that's going right into those paychecks of these American families and American workers, which is a huge stimulus. And then on top of that, Ashley, I'm not done yet. Okay, here's the other thing that's going to happen. Tariffs are going down, not up, as you guys just reported. Lower reductions on coffee, lower reductions on steel, lower reduction on kitchen accessories. All of these things, I think, are very bullish for the U.S. economy. And so I'm a happy guy right now. I think we're looking at 3.5% to 4% growth for 2026.
And the delay of those tariffs, as you mentioned, on furniture, kitchen cabinets, Italian pasta. Is there any other kind of pasta? Those do have a long-term effect, don't they? I know you're not a fan of tariffs, but this will help bring down prices, or at least get them from going up, right?
Well, look, I mean, Trump is inadvertently, confirming that if you put a tariff on something, a tariff is a tax, as you know, Ashley, and if you tax something, its price will go up. And we saw that, for example, with coffee and beef. Trump's reducing those tariffs will lower those prices, help with affordability. And you're quite right, Ashley, that Trump has used these threats of tariffs in a very effective way. Another reason to be very bullish on the economy in 2026 is now Trump says it's what, $18 trillion or something of foreign investment capital. I think that's a slight exaggeration. But even if it's one-tenth that, even if it's $2 trillion, that's an enormous amount of money being invested here in the USA, which is good for wages, good for jobs, and good for American companies.
Yeah. And very quickly, Steve, I've been amazed at how retailers have been able to absorb the extra costs of tariffs. So the consumer is not taking a huge hit, and the consumer is spending quite healthily anyway, right?
That's the thing that's so amazing. For all this talk about affordability and consumer confidence is down, there's an old saying in economics called revealed preference. In other words, look at what people actually do, not what they say they're going to do. And what did people do in the last 2 months? They spent and spent and spent and spent. That means that their attitudes are very different from their behavior. And don't forget one other quick thing. I know we're running out of time here, actually, but it's an important point. Trump is likely to lose this Supreme Court case, which will probably come down in the next 6 weeks. That means some of that money a lot of that money may have to be refunded to retailers, which will be a bit of a stimulus as well. So looking pretty good to me.
It's smiles across the board. Steve Moore, Happy New Year to you, sir, and great to chat with you.
You too. Take care.